I'm opposed to having a brother and sister be together and call that marriage. I'm opposed to an older guy marrying a child and calling that a marriage. I'm opposed to one guy having multiple wives and calling that marriage.
You think those are equivalent to gays getting married?
Oh, I do.
Comments like that from Pastor Rick Warren that made the internet and blogosphere light up with outrage today when it was announced that President-elect Obama has asked the popular conservative preacher to give the invocation at the inauguration. Now, Warren was a big supporter of Proposition 8, which took away marriage rights from gays and lesbians in California. And late today, an Obama spokeswoman said that while the president-elect disagrees with Warren on gay rights issues, he wants this to be the most inclusive inauguration ever. Let's dig deeper with Hillary Rosen, Robert Zimmerman, and Roland Martin. Hillary, Andrew Sullivan wrote today on his blog, he said, it's shrewd politics, but if anyone is under any illusion that Obama is interested in advancing gay equality, they should probably sober up now. Is this a slap in the face of the gay community?
You know, from what I gather, every gay person who paid attention to this today felt like we were kicked in the stomach. This is just kind of outrageous that you would choose such a divisive figure to speak out in a blessed, prayerful moment at a day of bringing the country together. I think it's kind of an outrageous mistake on the part of the Obama campaign.
Roland, of all the pastors to choose from, why choose someone controversial?
Okay, well, how about choosing Reverend Jeremiah Wright, who actually supports the issue of gay marriage? Look, Obama believes that marriage is between a man and a woman. Is that controversial? Not only that, you have two people who are speaking today who are preachers. You have Rick Warren, who is against gay marriage, giving the invocation. You have the Reverend Joseph Lowry, who is for gay marriage, giving the benediction.
This is not a policy difference. This is not even about gay marriage. That can be a political or policy difference that obviously Barack Obama has with many gay and lesbian people. This is about the way that Pastor Warren has used homosexuality as a weapon, that he uses religion as a weapon to suggest that gay relationships are akin to incest and pedophilia and other things. That's the problem. It's not a matter of a policy difference. It's a matter of using this sort of moral religious authority to divide one group from another.
But hasn't he also used the moral authority over global warming?
Let Robert in here.
Thank you, Roland, for the opportunity. Here's the point. There's no question. Reverend Warren's comments are divisive and ignorant, and I for one, personally believe in the rights of both gay and lesbians to marry. It's a moral right that should be protected by the law. But I believe the inauguration of Barack Obama is much bigger than Rick Warren. And I think, obviously, the goal here is to try to bring everyone together, to bring people to the table who we differ with, so that we can try to, in fact, bring them around. It's very important to note how the evangelical community has stood up on issues such as world poverty or the AIDS pandemic or in environmental causes. And we're seeing, in fact, progress made in vote after vote to bring the vote around for the rights of gays and lesbians to marry.
Inauguration Day is not a political negotiation. That's not what this is for. If you want to have a political negotiation, have it. If you want to talk about issues that evangelicals and progressives can agree on, do that. But what this is a symbol to America about the kind of people that we respect and want to be, and the messages that they deliver.
Pastor
That's
Warren
why this is a
but here's the problem.
At one point, Roland, I'm kind of outraged. I'm outraged, Roland, at your glibness
I understand the outrage, but here's the point that I am making. On your viewpoint is you disagree with him, obviously, on his issues when it comes to the homosexuality, gay marriage. The point I'm making is this is the same pastor who is called a conservative pastor who has a whole different view, using religion when it comes to AIDS.
That doesn't justify Reverend Warren's bigotry.
So it goes beyond that. I'm not justifying.
We are excusing
I'm making this point that depending upon your view, you can either agree or disagree with his view on religion.
I want to read out what the Obama spokesperson has said about this in reaction to this controversy. They said the president-elect certainly disagrees with him on lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender issues, but it has always been his goal to find common ground with people with whom you may disagree on some issues. Hillary, what does this say though about how Obama is going to rule? I mean, it does. You know, to his supporters who don't mind this, they will say, well, look, this shows he is reaching out to people of different faiths, of different perspectives, and you know, showing that it's a big tent.
Look, I'd make two quick points about this. First, the glibness about, well, you know, it's just a bunch of gays being unhappy that people don't agree with them is wrong. You know, the one time the Bible was used to justify slavery, if this was a preacher out there using moral weapons against African Americans, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So second of all, the fact that we're actually having this conversation means that this is a mistaken choice. This is a day when people are to be brought together. There are hundreds of preachers across the country with stature and thoughtfulness and other ways to bring this country together on an inauguration day for the new president. That's the choice he should have made.
I want to give you each a final thought. Roland?
Well, the bottom line is Rick Warren is one of the most respected pastors in the country. There are people who obviously agree and disagree. But the bottom line is you got two preachers that day, one who is for gay rights, one against gay rights.
It's not about gay rights.
This is not about gay rights.
Wait a minute, but your whole argument for the whole segment has been on that issue.
Let Robert give his final thought.
That's the whole argument you've been making.
Roland, this is not about the issue of gay rights. This is about individual respect for humanity and human decency, and Reverend Warren's comments disqualify him from that. He uses faith to preach fear. And I think what's critical here to note is, and this is what my hope is what Inauguration Day represents, is a chance to open up dialogues that haven't existed before. And by opening up these dialogues, we can bring people together around common ground and respect for one another.
We're going to have to leave it there. Well, Hillary, your final thought.
Well, it's just, that's a conversation the country ought to have. This is not the day to do it. This is the day to make everybody feel good about the new president and the new direction of the country. And this choice today is making a lot of people feel lousy about it.
And some folks will feel good or feel bad, but I guess the millions who read The Purpose-Driven Life of the Purpose-Driven Church, they somehow don't count, right?
Hillary Rosen, Roland Martin.
You could find people everybody likes.
Robert Zimmerman.
I
like
both of you. I doubt that these days.
The conversation continues on.